同じ条件なら俺たちが勝つ。あいつらは強敵だ。
In Jump Force, Dai plays as a sword fighter character, however he is a little different to the other sword users. Rather than being focused on a purely offensive playstyle, Dai utilises a number of tools in his kit to present an answer to any scenario. Dai is young, and as such has a lot to learn about what troubles he may face along the way in his original anime and manga series Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. Still in learning, his master, Avan, sacrificed his own life protecting the island they lived on. It is now Dai's duty as the next hero of the land to complete what his master could not and put an end to the demons that plague his world. As mentioned previously, Dai has an answer to anything with his signature Avan-Strash abilities and mastery of the Dragonic Aura, which give him access to both offensive and defensive utility. Dai's first ability is called Avan-Strash Arrow. This is Dai's long-range attack. It is a projectile rather than a beam and doesn't quite go full screen. So this is more of a mid-range projectile attack. On hit, this attack will crumple the opponent. This is a nice utility to have when you're looking to mix the opponent up as they stand up. The damage on this attack, raw, isn't anything amazing, but it gets the job done as a ranged poke attack to prevent normals, energy charge or a dash. It also serves as a cheap combo ender, cheap meaning that the attack doesn't cost very much. This ability only costs one ability bar and is extremely versatile in that it can combo off of anything, but Dai will struggle to follow up with anything himself after a successful hit. That's for an assist or a switch to capitalise on. Avan-Strash Arrow can combo off of any normal rush from 2 to 4 hits and can combo off of a 1, 2 or 3 hit heavy string. Cancelling off of the third hit of a heavy string does require some practice however, because you have to time the move correctly rather than just spamming it. This is pretty much perfect for creating a combo ending in this ability, so it's really versatile, realistic and easy to land. Dai's second ability is called Avan-Strash Break. This is Dai's dash attack go-to combo ender. The ability costs 2 bars, so spamming it after every combo string is never a good idea. It is also a little harder to land than Avan-Strash Arrow because of the longer startup phase. All things considered however, this is what you want to end your combos with if you have the resources for it. One thing to keep in mind is that this attack does not give Dai armor properties. That's very important as you may be conditioned by the armor properties on so many other characters' dash attacks. So throwing this attack out in the neutral game when the enemy can react is never a good idea. Where possible, use this attack as a combo ender. Avoid using it in the neutral game and only use as a counter if you know that the opponent can't poke you out of it. Dai's third ability is called Dragonic Aura Release. This ability is very powerful and I believe it to be one of the biggest factors differentiating Dai players. Dragonic Aura has a fairly short startup animation. Afterwards, Dai will release the Dragonic energy, knocking the opponent back but doing no damage. The ability can be blocked, but the enemy will still get sent back, but they'll still be standing as opposed to losing control and falling to the floor. This ability is a buff that gives Dai a boost to his attack power and physical resistance. The ability requires 3 bars to cast, however they are not spent upon activation. Instead, the ability gauge will slowly drain and will continue to do so until it reaches 0. Dragonic Aura will last as long as Dai has even 1 point of ability gauge, meaning that the buff will only disappear once Dai reaches 0 on the ability gauge. This ability is effectively an awakening. It enhances battle prowess while slowly degenerating at a resource meter. In this case it's the ability gauge, not the awakening gauge. The key to this ability is understanding resource management, which we'll go into more depth on in the game plan segment of the video. Finally, Dai's awakened ability, which is called Giga Strash. This is your standard dash attack awakened ability. The hitbox is very similar to that of Avan-Strash Break, so it should be treated as such. You should always look to enter awakening mode before using this ability rather than just throwing it out mid-match. Giga Strash is very easy to land, making it extremely versatile, whether you're punishing with it or just ending a combo with it. The dash is also incredibly fast with a lot of range, and it appears to bypass most, if not all, projectiles, so an opponent can't poke you out of it, which should be expected for an awakened ability. When you call upon Dai as an assist, he uses his Avan-Strash Arrow ability. This is his first one. I find this assist to be extremely useful in a number of different scenarios. Firstly, I like to use this assist to simply poke the opponent if we're both charging at a range. Additionally, it's good to use when poking the opponent during that footsie battle when you're both looking for an opening on one another. I also really like to use this when I want to dash in on my opponent, forcing them to block or eat a crumple projectile to lead into a full combo. The only time I won't advise doing this is if the opponent has their Awaken ability available, as they can easily react off of that. One great thing about this assist is that it can also be used to extend combos because of the crumple of the ability. This could simply mean adding an additional hit before your finisher, or setting yourself up for a short string before ending. For example, if you hit them with the crumple projectile assist, you can then do a 2 or 3 hit heavy string, then maybe do your awakening ability or something like that. The attack is extremely versatile, both as an assist and a regular ability. The fact that using an assist doesn't require any meter makes this all the more powerful, meaning you can do what you want as Dai assist with a good projectile. As mentioned previously, Dai has a very balanced moveset in terms of his options and versatility. No matter what, Dai seems to be able to react to any situation with his abilities. As such, this makes him a very approachable character for a new player. However, I feel that there is hidden depth to this character. Resource management between your mobility, awakening and ability gauges is a key part of competitive Jump Force. However, I feel that this is the main factor affecting how one Dai player is better than another. Dai's Dragonic Aura ability is extremely powerful in that it is a mini awakening, essentially. This requires 3 ability bars which tick down throughout its duration. This makes the character resource intensive when using it. Good Dai players will look for the best opportunities to use his ability, whether it be for a quick burst of aggression or more prolonged buff duration. The balance of using this ability as well as your other 2 core abilities whilst keeping the aura active is the biggest factor in determining a skilled Dai player. When playing Dai, I would suggest looking for a team that can accompany this playstyle. This means characters that don't need ability bars, so you can save them for Dai's buff, as well as characters with good assist to allow for you to charge your gauge throughout the match. Additionally, the characters in your team should be reliable to fall back on, so that they don't have to use any other resources. Characters like Asta don't require ability gauge to pressure, and Boa Hancock has a great assist for playing the poke game whilst you can charge your ability. The team you choose for Dai is just as important as Dai himself, so find that balance of the aforementioned factors as well as what works with your own playstyle. The 2 characters I just listed work well with my playstyle, so they're a good fit for me if I'm putting Dai into the team. Dai is a fairly basic character on the surface, simple to pick up and play at the start. However, he has hidden depth in his kit with the use of his Dragonic Aura buff and Avant Arrow Crumple projectile and Avant Break combo ender. I personally feel that Dai is okay on the surface level, however I can't wait to delve deeper into the raw mechanics and tech of this character to get a deeper understanding of his aura ability and different team combos to accompany this playstyle. Dai can fit well into any team comp with his all-rounder gameplay, however special care should be considered when building a Dai team for a competitive edge. This was the character guide for Dai. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.